Welcome to Going Paperless with Kami. My name is Maria Lalusa and I teach 8th grade pre-algebra. For our session objective, participants will develop knowledge of Chrome extension Kami and gather ideas on how to integrate the Kami application into the classroom and use Kami as a paperless digital platform. Here's a look at our session agenda. We're just going to take a quick look on how to get started with Kami before looking at Kami in action. What are those tools actually like? And then we're going to take a look at how the Kami and Canvas integration can work for you. Last, you'll be able to create your own Kami account and you'll be able to play around with it and see if it's the right tool that you want to use in your classroom. So why Kami? Why is it something that we want to use? Kami is a tech tool that allows you to upload any PDF and create interactive digital documents and assignments. Any document can be turned into a PDF, and once done, it can be uploaded into Kami and customized with Kami's tech tools. Teachers as well as students are able to personalize learning, and teachers are able to improve student engagement by using the annotation and markup tools and comment tools to create, interact with, and collaborate in real time. Students receive, complete, submit assignments digitally, all from their Chromebooks. Also, teachers can differentiate instruction using the video, audio, and text features and built-in screencast tool. Lastly, Kami provides a paperless online platform to achieve a successful blended learning environment. So that's what Kami is. Before you actually get started, you'll need to do a few things, and I'll quickly go over what those things are. You'll need to first put in the Google add-on. You do that through your Google Street Marketplace here. Just scroll down from the Google Apps widget down to more from G Suite Marketplace. Make sure that you've already been signed into your Knox Schools account when you do this. Doing this allows Kami to show up on your Google Apps widget, so it's easily accessible, and it also links your Google Drive with Kami, which makes integration with Canvas much easier. So that's one thing you're going to want to do. The next thing would be is to add on your your Kami Chrome extension, and you'll need to Google that. Just Kami Chrome extension. When you do that, it'll be the first thing that pops up, and you'll just add on to Chrome from there. You want to do that because it creates this little button here that we're going to use to easily access the Kami homepage. You're going to need to also add Kami to Canvas. So to do so, I've left you directions here in the presentation, and it'll pull you up an article where you'll be able to generate an LTI key. That key needs to go into all of your Canvas courses, the same key, the same secret. When you do that, I'll show you very quickly. You'll go to any Canvas course, and you're going to go to Settings and to your apps, and then filter by Kami. Add app, and then there's the screen for your consumer key and your shared secret. Just copy and paste those in. Again, make sure you're using the same key and secret for all of your courses. If the article I gave you for some reason won't pop up, that same article is also right here on Canvas under the Kami app page. I'm going to go ahead and cancel those things that we don't need out, so we can get to work on Kami. What you'll need to do first is go to kamiapp.com to create your account. Once you've created this account and you have your extension and your Google add-on, you're really not going to need to come back to this page unless you just want to read some of the really great blogs. Create your account. It's going to prompt you for a 30-day free trial. Go for it. Why not? It's 30 days free with all the premium features. Now that that's all covered, you would be all set up to go. We can click this little button here with our Chrome extension, and it's going to pull up our Kami homepage. So this is where we can create all of our assignments. You have an OCR for scanned documents that did not scan well. You have a split and merge for PDFs that are way too large and you're only wanting to use certain pages for your students. You can upload from your Google Drive. That's where the Google add-on came in, from your computer, or you can even do a new blank page and use it as a digital whiteboard. So I'm going to open from my computer this time. Now it's asking me, you've already previously annotated that document. It's smart that way. I've been practicing, but I don't want to use the previous annotation, so I'm going to make a new copy. And here is the PDF I want to assign my students. I'm just going to go through some of the features pretty quickly with you all, and I'll tell you which ones are free and premium along the way. So the first thing I want to look at, I noticed that this does not have any direction on it. Since this PDF doesn't have any instructions, that might be something I wanted to do for my students. So there's a couple different ways that we could do that. The first thing we're going to look at is the text box feature. Over here we could come down and we can change the font size of the text. We can change the color of the text from here. And then we're just going to place that text box anywhere on the page. And you'll see that you have all of your actual detailed text features up at the top, where you can mess around with the font and other different text features. And I can just add some quick directions for my students. Complete the task using the cube strategy. And now they have a verbal, I'm sorry, not a verbal, they have a written direction on what to do with this assignment. And maybe this document or a different document had directions on it, but maybe you didn't like them, or you want to differentiate the instructions for some of your students. These text boxes, they're transparent right now, but you can come in and fill it with any color you'd like. And cover up existing directions on the page. Maybe if you want to make it really visual, make it a completely different color so that it really pops and stands out, that's catch their attention. But if it's not something that you want to clutter up the page with, maybe you have a pretty cluttered document as is, there's another feature that you can use, the text comment feature. I can still provide written direction without causing any space to be taken up on the page. So you can choose the color of a pinpoint, and that adds a point on your document, and then there's a text box attached, and I can add those same type of directions. And without taking up any real space on the page. And I can move that point around, and the comment is going to follow in proximity to that point. Alright, so that's two ways that I could add those instructions. I wanted to show you while I have this text box here, there is a couple different ways you can move this around. So we have our select tools here, where if you select with the arrow, then that's going to bring up all your text options. If you pick up the hand tool, then the hand tool, you can move the page around, but you can also move the size of the box around. If I wanted to move the box itself, I use that select tool and make sure you have these little 4 arrows, but you can move it anywhere on the page, even after you've already settled it in. So the next feature that I'm wanting to take a look at is the different comment feature. So you've seen the text comment here. The text comment is the only comment feature that comes with the free version. You get both the text box and the text comment feature with the unpaid version. If you do get the premium version, you get these other comment options also. So one of those is the voice comment, and what that does is it adds another point on the document. I can pick a different color, and I can include these same directions but in a verbal soundbite. Sometimes our students, they're not going to pick up the directions when they're written, but they're more likely to listen or even comprehend if they have that auditory cue. So I can place that voice comment anywhere on the page. Complete task using the cube strategy. And now they have complete task using the cube strategy. a way to hear me telling them what to do for this page also. That's also a great tool for our students who maybe they struggle with typing or handwriting, or they have just some mobility issues. Maybe they're not very good at expressing themselves uh, with the written word, but they're really good at expressing themselves orally. So with a question like this, interpret the evidence, what does it mean? I have a lot of students who wouldn't be able to easily write that out in a sentence, but they could easily tell me with their words. So they can use this voice comment also, and they can come in here and place that voice comment and then actually interpret that evidence, tell me what it means in their own words without actually have to type it out or write it out in a sentence. Another comment feature that comes with the premium version is the video comment. So that is a way to personalize this a little more, remind the students that you're still there, you're kind of the one behind this assignment. So I can place that and change the color of my comment point. I can color code them how I like. There's more color options here with a larger palette. I can pick another color and then place that point. Hey guys, make sure you remember to use this space here to make any calculations and show all of your work. So now they have a visual of me giving them further instruction as well. Hey guys, make sure you remember to use this space here to make any calculations and show all of your work. My favorite of the comment tools is actually the screen capture tool here, and what that does is allows me to show them exactly how I want them to complete a problem, and it provides a real-time example with this document that they can keep and play over, and it also is really helpful for students who are absent later on when maybe they get this makeup assignment, they're not 100% what they were supposed to do, and they can have an example right there on the page to help them. So how that works is you're going to either use the PDF here, or I could even create more pages at the bottom, blank pages, using this button that acts as like a digital whiteboard, and I can provide examples. You'll click that screen capture and it's going to prompt you to, you click on the page, it'll prompt. Hold on just one moment, let me fix this. Okay, let me try that again. We're going to come down here to the screen capture, and we should be able to click on the page. There it is, and it's going to prompt if we want to record our whole screen. If we want to record just an application window, we're going to do the whole screen. And then now over here on the right hand side, you can see everything that I'm doing on the page. As I move the cursor, you can see that the cursor is moving in that little window. So now I can come in here with the drawing tool, and I can provide them a real-time example, or real example of how I would like them to I would like them to solve this problem. So that's just a really useful way to use this, and again, it's really helpful with students who are absent, who aren't sure of what to do, or maybe they need a reminder, and that's always an option to have embedded in those documents. Next, I want to show you the markup tools that Kami has to offer, and the great thing about these is that they are all free, so they all come with the free version. We have our text highlighter, box highlighter, strike through, and underline, and you can change all the colors on those and color code as you might see fit. So for the text highlighter here, if you click on that, and again we can change the highlight color to anything we like. Maybe I want my students to go through here and highlight some important information. In each equation, x represents months. That's important. So I can just highlight, just run the mouse over that text, and it's going to form a little highlight box around it. So you see a nice neat box in the background, but you might also notice that it's a kind of like a freehand highlighting tool also. So then we also have the box highlighter here, and that's if you want to highlight a bunch of material at once. So let me pick a different color. Maybe I want my students to highlight all the important information, which includes this table. So I want that if they want to highlight this whole table at once, they can do that. There's also the strike through feature here. And maybe I wanted my students to go through here and strike through words that kind of give them a hard time. So if I can pick a different color code, maybe they're not sure what, let's see, the words break even mean, the term break even means, which is an important piece of information in this problem. So if they highlight that, you can see that it'll strike through those words, and when I go back and I review their assignment and I try to grade what they've given me, I can see what words gave them a hard time. Here we have recommendation. That would be another term that they might have a hard time with, and you can see that you just highlight it and it'll add that strike through. We also have the underline feature. I can come in here, pick another color, and maybe I want them to go through and make sure they underline all of the questions that they're supposed to be answering, so they can just highlight that again with their cursor, and it's going to add that underline. And what is great about all these different markups is that, again, you notice that you can choose all these different colors to help differentiate the different types of markups they're doing, and if they, don't like what they see after they've done it, they can always go back through and use the select tool here, click on those annotations. They could even move, like they don't want this weird looking squiggly one, they can move that out of the way. They can change the color on those after they've already been put down. There's other options here. You can duplicate that and move another one around. You can attach to these highlights a comment directly, which while I'm checking in to see their work, I can use those as a way to give personalized feedback. So, nice observation. Maybe they made a great observation and caught something in the problem others didn't. That would be a good way to provide some personal feedback for them. So those are our markup tools, and also with those markup tools you can select multiple annotations at once here, as well as with these drawings and shape tools, and you can kind of move multiple annotations around. If I do something like I've done twice now, I can see I accidentally underlined. There's this little undo button that comes over here, and I can undo anything that I did not mean to do in the first place, which I'm going backwards. Just noticed. There it is. Okay, so I didn't want all of that underlined. I was able to do that. If I couldn't get backwards to the underlining, I can always use this eraser tool, and I can erase either all annotations, underlining, highlighting, whatever, or I could just come through here and just erase the drawings and shapes. So that's what we're going to look at. Next is those drawing tools. You can change the stroke thickness here, and you can get really close and create really detailed drawings by getting closer to the document and changing the width. I think that would be a great thing for our students who are really visual and creative and love to personalize their work with drawings, so they can come in here and add all kinds of details if they want. They can change, make that even smaller, and they can kind of personalize and authenticate their work that way. So that's a way to use the drawing tool. You can also use it, of course, to help annotate the text. If maybe I wanted my students to go through, circle all those numbers that are within the problem, they could use that drawing tool, pick their thickness size, and then also use that to help mark up their text. My students can show their work using the drawing tool. They can come down here and write out with their mouse pad anything that they're wanting to do on paper. They could do with that drawing tool. If they didn't want to use the drawing tool, of course, we also have the option for the equation here. You can insert equations into the document using this tool, which is really handy for us math teachers, but if not, we can always do that annotation with the drawing. The equation is a premium feature, but the drawing is free, as well as the shapes feature is free. You can create your own dimensions in a shape, or if you hold down the shift button, you can create perfect shapes. That way there's a perfect square. If I come down here and get an ellipse, I can either create my own dimensions, or again hold that shift button and make a perfect circle. The triangle is pretty neat because what it does is, besides the fact that you can create your own dimensions, you may notice that it shows the angle degree on the triangles, and I can come back with my select tool, pick up that triangle, and then I can see the degree measurement. So that's really neat. Also, with this select tool, you can pick up all those drawings at once. If I wanted to kind of move some things around, maybe not all, but I just wanted to move this flower out of the way, but it's got multiple annotations in it, I can use that multiple annotations and like move anything within that box. So see, I accidentally picked up something else, but I can move multiple things where I need them to go. Next, I want to show you the dictionary tool. Now, this is a premium feature. It does not come with the free version, but it's really handy. These terms, I asked my students to highlight maybe along the way what they could do afterwards now that they pinpoint what terms they're having trouble with, or maybe I add that in the directions that they look at them up afterwards. All you have to do is just highlight over those terms. So I want break even the whole term, and it tells me what the term break even means. So not just words, but terms also, and then it does the same thing for recommendation here. It's a really cool tool. And then we have the text to speech feature, which is, you see I already had recommendation highlighted and it read that word for me. This is of course a great accessibility feature for our special education students, as well as any students who just struggle with reading in general. This can be a very helpful tool in math, especially when you know, they've got so many other complex terms to deal with as it is. They can get a little extra help if they're struggling with reading in general. So you can, a couple of ways you can highlight and have just a term or expression read to you. They can click on the beginning of a sentence.
Jamie is an accountant at a mid-sized firm,
Move
and
to the next
these
sentence.
businesses are all in debt, but the multiplication
backwards.
Signature. Multiplication signature. Multiplication toggle descriptions.
The same
multiplication
the same terms
tool
over and over again. Of course, you can stop all text to speech here, and then they can change the voice, change the speed. It's a very, very handy tool. Besides the text to speech in the dictionary, of course, we talked the premium features would be these other options for comments here and the equation tool. The last of the premium features are the image and the signature tool. So images are a great way for me to add emphasis to documents, and it's also a great way for our students to authenticate their work and help add meaning to their work. So you can either add from your computer, you can add from your Google Drive, you can even search for Google. Maybe I wanted to emphasize that break-even point because I knew they might struggle with that term a little bit. So I can say, okay, bring me an image that shows that break-even point, and that can kind of give them some visual aid as to what that break-even is. And of course, see, it's right now, it's all blended into the background. I can bring up those properties here, and I can kind of change, or I can crop that picture if I want to. I can turn it if I need to move it and alter it that way. And then of course, if I need to move it out of the way, or if the students need to move it out of the way, they can. I don't have a lot of room, so maybe I just want to add this down here to the bottom where it's kind of out of the way, but again, just to add emphasis to what that break even is. So that's Premium feature, last is signature. Students probably won't need this as much, but they can use the phone or the drawing tool on here to add a signature as well. So that leaves the free features. Our free features, of course, are going to include the select tool. We have all of your markup tools available for free. You have your text comments available for free, your text box, you have your drawing tools and your shapes and the eraser. So you do have a lot available with you for free. Now that we have everything accomplished as far as what we want to annotate and mark up for our students, we're going to now use Kami and Canvas together. So we need to come up here to this download button, and you have some options. You can just download it to your computer, you can export it to Google Drive without any of the annotations. We don't want to do that. With all of your annotations only. So we do need to name our file. Let's name it systems task, and let's see, systems. And flatten annotations would be a really great option if I've just color coded with some annotations and I want to leave that for the students. It'll make it so that the students can't interact with the annotations you've already made and that they cannot move them. The problem though, that if you flatten those annotations, the students are not going to be able to hear or see any of your video and voice comments. They won't be able to interact with those. They can, however, still see and interact with your text comments if you flatten, so just keep that in mind. Because I want to be able to see and hear those other comments, I'm not going to flatten, and we're going to begin that export. And when it exports, it should go directly to your Google Drive. I'll show you what that looks like. It'll create a folder and put it directly into that folder. Here is our systems task, and you can see all the annotations that we did, and you can see on the side you have the different types of comments that we made also. So I just wanted to show you that. We're now going to X out of all of these. We don't need these tabs open. And we're going to open up Canvas. Oh, still have a student view. Let me leave that real quick. All right, and we're going to go to this summer course here. Let's practice and to modules. So I do already have a systems of equation task in there. I was practicing with that a little bit earlier, but I'm going to show you how to add a different one. So we're going to do a new assignment. We're going to name this one Systems Equations Task 2, since we already have one previously. And then we've got to go in and edit that assignment. And when you get to the assignment editing page, of course, you can put however many points you need in there. And we need this submission tool here. We need to choose the external tool, and we need to search for Kami, ask it to find it, and it's going to bring up the Kami Google Drive assignment. It'll connect to your Google Drive. I'm going to open up that Kami Uploads folder. Here's my systems task. I'm going to select. I want it to load in a new tab, so I'm going to select that also, and then save and publish. Now I want to show you what it's going to look like for the students, so I'm going to quickly go back to settings, to that student view, and I'm going to go to modules, and there are my assignments. We're going to look at Systems of Equations Task 2, the one we just made. And you can see it prompts you to load in a new window. Here is the Kami app. Same assignment, but assigned to test student 1. And you can see that all of our annotations are available. All of our text, voice, and video comments are available. There is our screencast here, and because we didn't flatten the annotations, the students can come in here and interact with those. So they can actually move them around if maybe they want to move some things out of the way, like this picture. If they want to move that around, they can do so. So once they're in, of course, they have access to all of these tools as well. So they can come in here, they can use the drawing tool, they can use text box to answer anything. They can also use the comment features if they want to add a voice comment to answer. This is how I interpret the evidence, and this is what I think it means. Then they can do that also. So I can see that, okay, they've answered that. Here is, this is how I interpret the evidence, their comment, and so that's an option for them when they're completing this assignment. Once they have completed the assignment and they've done all the markups that they want to do, that they feel they need to do, they're ready to submit to me, they're going to come up here to this submit button. It's that easy. So they're going to click submit, and it's going to save it to their Google Drive, and it's going to let Canvas know that it's submitted. I didn't mention before that when they opened up this document from the window, from here to the new window, Kami automatically created a copy of the PDF for them, and it put that copy into your Google Drive as the teacher, and it put that copy into their Google Drive as the student as well. We're done with this tab now that it's been submitted. I'll close that out. And I want to see as the student, what does it look like once it's been submitted? I'm going to go back to modules. Actually, let's go to assignments, and then here's our assignments. Here's number 2, and it says it's not yet graded. I'm going to leave the student view for a moment. And I want to see how does it look like as far as grading with a Kami assignment. So I'm going to go to Speed Grader. This is the absolute best thing about Kami, is that now in Canvas, I never even left this tab, never left Canvas. I have everything, all of our Kami tools right here available to grade this assignment. So I can really personalize feedback with the comment tools. I can really add some markups if they've done some great markups. Of course, I can use that select tool, and I can add comments to those. I can, let's see, here's our highlights, text highlighter. We can come in here, we can let them know what we think of the work they've done, make it really personal and engaging in that way. And students can also collaborate. We can always, check in our Google Drives that we don't want a copy to be made, and students can all collaborate in real time on the same assignment as well, and they can collaborate with comments with me while maybe we're doing a little mini lesson in class, and they can choose to comment, and we can get like a little discussion going in class via those comments. So it can be really collaborative that way. And if you are doing collaboration, you can always do these individual feedback options over here in Canvas. So I'm going to, in Canvas, using Speed Grader and Kami at the same time, I'm going to give this student their deserved grade, submit, and that is it. You can see right here that it's been submitted. I'm going to close out that tab. If I come back here and go back to my student view, they can open that back up. They can see if I've left them any type of comments or any type of feedback in this document, or they could also just go ahead and go straight to their assignments page and say, oh look, I made a 100 out of 100. That's what they're going to do most of the time, is just check out their grade and be done. But that's it. So that is your Kami and your Canvas integration, which I think is one of the most wonderful things about this app. The pricing wise, as far as Kami goes, I didn't mention this earlier, is that $99 for the teacher account for an entire year. It is pricey, but you can decide if it's worthwhile, because it includes full access to Kami not only for you but for all of your students as well. So for the entire year, not only do you get access to all those premium features, but they do also. So it's just something to think about. And of course, you can't take my word for it. You've got to go and try Kami out for yourself to really decide if it's something that you think is right for your classroom. I think it's a great option for saving on paper and moving towards that paperless classroom. And it's a great way for when we have to do remote learning to continue with structure and with routine by continuing to use this in the classroom and outside the classroom as well. So go out there, try it out, get started, create your account at kamiapp.com and give the 30-day free trial a go. If you want some more resources, I've included them in this presentation. We have some really great tutorial videos here. One of them is just getting started with Kami. One of them is all about Kami and Canvas together. And then there's some really great blogs and articles at this link as well. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoy Kami.